I'll call the Communities in Bloom meeting to order. Item 2 is disclosure of pecuniary interest, general nature thereof. Seeing none. Item 3 is adoption of our previous minutes from our April 7th meeting. Was there any errors or omissions? Seeing none. I'll accept a motion by Karis and second by Linda. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. Item 4 is our business arising from our previous minutes. And we will jump down we're going to skip item 4.1 until Kimberly gets here. I don't think she'll have much of an update, but we'll give her a chance on that. Barb, why don't you start with item 4.3, the Ted Lowe's Garden Confederation Park, because I know that we've got the chat about on that. So I'll give you the opportunity to start.
Okay, well, first of all, we're going to clean up Ted Lowe's garden tomorrow morning. We've been toying with the weather for quite a while, trying to get a day that's not snowing or blowing or rain. So I don't know how many people are actually going to be able to help us. There was supposed to be a few. So anyway, that'll be tomorrow morning. And we'll be meeting with Scott Wentworth, and hopefully about that area as well, and the $25,000 design award.
Barb, just before you go, did Scott confirm a time that he's going to be arriving, or?
No, I've got an email into him. I haven't heard back. So,
okay. All right.
Yeah. So the big thing is trying to get money for this labyrinth. It's hard with to put in a grant proposal. There's certain dates, and then there's certain protocol you have to go through to get it done by those dates. So anyway, I had asked the grant I applied for the labyrinth. I asked them to put it on hold till next year so we could get some more money. In the meantime, this tourism relief fund grant has come to my attention. It was yesterday, as a matter of fact. I was talking to Zach Gribble from the Stratford Tourism, and this is one where we could get $100,000 to develop that area. So we would be able to put the labyrinth in, the archway that would go into it, maybe the walkway, some landscaping, lighting in that area as well. So I have a call in to Tatia Defoe at the City Hall to see, the city may have already applied for another project with this funding, so we've got to find that out. Parks board approved the labyrinth for that area, so that was the first obstacle to get over. Yeah, so that's kind of my next week. It has to be in by next week, so I'm hoping to get it all done. So
okay, great. And Barb, I think just continuing on with that conversation, as you mentioned, there's a little bit of investigative work that needs to be done with Tatiana just to find out where we're at with that. But should there not be a conflict with other potential city projects, I'm wondering if it's worth putting forward a motion at this time or a request at this time from this committee asking it for approval from the city to utilize its charitable or its number for the application. Is that kind of where we're needing to go for or go from?
Yeah, that would be good, because not only for this grant, like even to apply to the community grants, I wasn't able to, because in order to get the approval from the city in time to get the grant in on time for the deadline, it just didn't happen a few weeks ago. So I think if we can get approval that any project that we do, that we could use their number, because they're always asking for, a charitable registration number. So,
so yeah. I don't know if it's something that would have to go to council, but it would definitely have to go to staff. So I'm wondering if this committee could just simply provide the request through a motion, and then that way it can go to staff and I guess specifically to Tatiana, who can then redirect it if necessary to the appropriate staff member.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
That we provide that money from Communities in Bloom towards this project.
or I guess it's more so to seek permission to utilize our charitable number.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll
And
second that.
you want to second that? Thank you. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
So Barbara, I'll let you continue on with your conversations with the clerk's department there, and any other conversations that might be required to be followed, and the deadline.
Yeah,
Okay.
the one thing when I was talking to Zach Gribble just a few minutes ago, he thought maybe the city might have already applied for this particular money. There's $5 million to be used in the Waterloo County, our county, and Dufferin, I think it is. So there is money to be had. And again, if he suggested if we can't go with the city, we might get a service club that will, support this as well, just in name. So does anyone have any suggestions as to a service club that might be willing to go along with this? I know Rotary, I've done a few presentations with it. Perhaps they could, or even the University Women Association.
Both good organizations, and I'm sure if you
I'm wondering if that's a better idea, because the city's applying for other grants, and
Well, we're not sure. I have to find out whether they're utilizing. This just came out in April, and this is only the beginning of May. So there hasn't been a lot of lead up. It came out by the federal government to get tourism after the pandemic going. So as Stu said, it's probably underutilized, so I don't know. We'll just have to play it by ear, but it's certainly worth going after so we can get all the money to do the project, which we were going to do over 10 years. So.
Okay, so yeah, I think the first step obviously is to reach out to clerk's department and speak with Tatiana.
Yeah.
And if we do find that it's already something that's being utilized by the city, then we can go down option B. For
Yeah.
sure.
that's not what I meant. I meant that the city's applying for all kinds of different grants.
Oh,
So one less that we have to apply for might be better in getting success in other grants, is what I meant. I don't know if they look at how many grants the city's put in, say for doing roads and
Right.
the Cooper site and different stuff like that. And if you've got a lot of grants on the go, that maybe you wouldn't get one, or we might get this one, but you wouldn't get another one. I don't know if they do that or not.
yeah, this is specific to get tourism going and give people local jobs. So
Yeah.
we'll just have to ask Tatiana, will know, and then we can go from there.
So I'm assuming Zach's applying for some.
He's not able to because he's already applied for other grants in this area. So he-
Oh.
To this specific one. I've checked with him, and he was the one who suggested if we can't do it under the city, if they've already got other projects through this particular grant, then we could go to a service club and ask them to be our kind of name only. So.
Well, then it would probably be a good idea to ask the city.
Yeah, we'll find out what they're doing and then go from there. But it's a really good opportunity to get a big amount of money. Like I've been searching for $10,000 grants, and in order, to do the labyrinth alone is between 25 and 30,000. That's just bare. That's just the bare labyrinth without any extras. So this kind of grant would allow you to do it properly, quickly, and I think it would be really good, a good thing to have there after the pandemic. People use labyrinths for mental health. They use it for exercise. It would become a multi-purpose space. Yeah, so it seems to be a good project after the pandemic is finally over.
Well, it got passed at ITS, so it'll come into council.
Okay. Well, thank you for the Parks Board people too, to make sure that that was their first hurdle. So that was good.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Barb, for your work on that. The next thing we can talk about, we'll we'll go to item 4.2. I don't know if Kimberly's going to end up joining us here or not, so we'll just skip and go to CIB national plans for judges visit. So it is confirmed that judges will be coming to Stratford August 16th, 17th, and 18th. So that is different from the last time we chatted. And I believe I sent that information to everyone, but if I happen to miss getting that to you, that is confirmed. The judges who are coming, they've never been here before. Bob, however, is the judge that did the Skype with us last year when we won for our project that we did there. And I think he's probably very excited to see Stratford and see everything that he had seen through our little view of vision here, and to see it in person. So it'll be exciting for him. The other woman who's coming from Ottawa, again, has never been to Stratford. So we're getting 2 rookie people to Stratford, which is kind of exciting, seeing it through their eyes for the first time. So again, coming August 16th, 17th, 18th, we've got a little bit of breathing room or runway, however you want to look at it, between now and then, so that we can get our program all ready to go. I had a sigh of relief. I was able to get the profile book from 2019. It was a bit of a panic on my side, nothing that you need to worry about. But the good news is that I got it, and I was able to share it with Casey today. So she now has the profile book on record as well. So we will never have to have that panic attack again. And so what we can do is, based on our conversation from last time, I can forward you the appropriate section, because they are all sectioned out. So I can do that and send it off to you. And you can start looking at it, and we can make the necessary changes. Like I say, we've got two months anyway. You know, we've got all of May, June, July. We have three and a half months really. So we've got lots of time to make the necessary changes and get our program together. So the good news, bad news. Good news is that it got pushed. It's not bad news. It's just it's later in the season. So we find that it'll. Here's me being the. It's election year, so the provincial signs will all be down, but the municipal election signs will all be up. So it's just one of those things, necessary evil, but the signs will be all over the city. I just, I'm sure that they're, seen it a million times before, but so anyways, that's just my own personal input on what we'll have lots of up by middle of August. All the signs for the election will be all everywhere. So hopefully we'll just be able to show off our city and just to not see all the signs. Bonnie, are you going to have your signs up everywhere?
I'm not putting signs up this year.
Okay.
So if I'm running, I'm not putting any signs up. I said.
I don't know if you saw what I just did there. I was trying to see if you were going to tell me or not if you were running.
Yes, I just decided last week. I was going to wait till August, but yeah, I'm planning to put my name in.
Okay, there you go.
Are you?
You heard that here first.
Okay.
All right, I'm glad to hear that, Bonnie. Anyways, politics aside, we'll go back to Communities in Bloom. And so can everybody, Bonnie, you wanted environment. Linda, you wanted?
Landscape.
Landscape.
Brad, I was just going to ask if it wouldn't be an idea for people to go around, well, the signs go up pretty early, don't they? But if they could go take pictures of things when they're at their best, without signs, maybe, and then have a little portfolio of pictures that you can say, well, this is what it looks like now, but this is what it looked like when it was really good.
Yeah. Anything that we can do. And here's the beautiful thing is that we're going to have, as an example, on May 28th, we'll have our event. So we'll be able to have some very current activity photos, right? So at the farmer's market, this is our community involvement. So we should be able to get lots of content that we can edit into the profile book between now and then.
I would think most people that are running for council won't be putting signs out till the provincial election's over, like
Yeah.
June the 5th, right?
I-
And
I-
then, and then probably most of them won't do it till, say, July or August, right? Because they've got to make up their minds and then they've got to order them, and that usually takes a while, right? So,
So that was the good news I was talking about. The good news is that we've got some runway here where we've got
Yeah.
time to do a lot of things. It's just with judges, but yeah. Okay, so Cindy, help me out. I'm sorry, I lost my notes from who was gonna do which sections of
I
it.
was going to work with Barb.
Okay, so Cindy and Barb are working together, so we're giving you, Barb, do you remember what sections I was given?
Well, the ones that includes Ted's garden, like
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what the terminology was, but gardens or
Laurel,
florals. Yeah.
Floral, yeah.
I'll give you a couple. All right. And then Karis, you were whatever, I think, wasn't it?
You were to decide, be nice.
Yes, okay,
And Kim was whatever too.
gotcha. Okay, so I will get that out as soon as we finish our meeting here. While it's still fresh in my computer's sent files, so I can get them out today. So with that, we've got the date, we have the judges, we've got our profile book. Now it's some of the other logistics that we really need to start planning and looking for guidance or feedback on. The judges arrive on the 16th of August, which is a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we got 2 nights, August 16th, August 17th. Tuesday, Wednesday. So any ideas, recommendations, suggestions? Yeah, Karen?
I have a couple of things. So yeah, I looked over their profiles and so the lady, is it Tina? I forgot. I don't have it in front of me. Okay. So Tina has an interest in winter lights, I was reading, and winter festivals. So I thought I would just ask and then bring it here for anything further. If I was supposed to go with Barb yesterday to that meeting, and unfortunately I had a work emergency and Barb went solo, but I was going to talk to Zach around maybe doing a quick talking about what he's done with the Lights Up Stratford kind of thing. Because you know how we did that with the bees, and then Stuart sat with him and talked over. We've had that where the people that actually do it actually speak to them. So Zach is an excellent speaker. So I would really think that he would do a good job of selling what he's done and showcasing it. So then Zach has agreed, and now it's come to this committee for consideration. So that's where it landed. And the other part of that is Stratford Winterfest, and having Leslie Spencer Cooper, myself, or Jamie Coddle, who is now the current chair of Stratford Winterfest, do a 15-20 minute, the same thing, showcase, you know, the last maybe 5 years, some pictures, and talk about what goes into the event and how it comes to be. And I think because it's an interest of Tina's, that would be something quite interesting for her. Maybe she can rob and duplicate and take something back. So that was 2 things. And then the third one I saw was, just to keep in mind, is Hannah Thomas does that doc music. So if we could have some time, I don't know what nights she does it. Does anybody know what night she does the doc music?
Usually Sunday night, but
Oh shit, is it? Sorry.
it is Sunday night. That's when we're having,
Okay.
we're approved. Well, it got
Would
approved,
she
you know.
be able to do something special, like maybe just do showcase herself and just do something just for them if we were to take them down to the dock? Because she does have a lot of flags and a lot of you know, she's going places, and I think it's fantastic what she does. Maybe we can't showcase Sunday, but we can do like a 15 minutes, this is your concert, enjoy it kind of thing, and have drinks or something down there.
Mhm.
So that is an idea, some local talent like that. And then just to end on my little spiel here is Fred has agreed to do pictures. So I do need to tag him in on anything you want, but I can be the contact for him should you need to reach out further. But he's now, I did change the dates with him, so he now knows it's August that we're doing it, okay?
Yeah, that's great. That was the most important thing, that he knew the dates. So,
Yeah, so he does.
okay. Great ideas. Great ideas. And I think the other, as we look to who are we going to bring in as our presenters for the judges, we need to be mindful, and this is something that we need to, normally we bring in some of the counselors and the mayor and senior city staff, but it is the AMO conference at the same time. So we will not be able to have that supply of resources, or limited supply of those resources. So we'll be looking for other community experts to assist us with our presentations. So I just want everybody to be mindful of that as we think about who we're all going to have be our speakers. So I think, as you mentioned, Zach Ribble, he's helped us in the past, and definitely we're going to want to nail him down for a presentation, if not for a meal. I think Winterfest, I agree, we're going to want to really sell what was done at Winterfest and Winter Lights, so that we can showcase that off, because that is, you know, very important in what we were able to do over the last couple of years. And then I think the city center, obviously, what I really want to do is what's new, and it's talking about Stratford's resilience and hope. Hope is growing, and I want to kind of steal from the past thread that hope is growing, and also talk about resilience. And so these are the kind of words I want to throw out, and it's just going to show how Stratford has, you know, stayed strong, and, you know, our downtown core, and I mean, when we look at how vibrant it continues to be, and, you know, on a Tuesday and Wednesday, you know, in most places, you know, I mean, those are not busy days, but I'm sure August 16th, 17th, and 18th in Stratford, I mean, if the weather's nice, the streets will be packed, right? And it'll be amazing to show, because our downtown did stay strong. And so this is, although we talk about bouncing back, and there's funds that help communities do so, and not saying that we don't need it, because we do, but it'll shock, I think it'll shock people when they see how amazing our downtown is when they come this year. So anyway, so having, I'm thinking either Rob Russell or someone from the downtown to also be speakers. But Bonnie, I know that you had mentioned Sammy Orr for environment.
He's away July and August, though.
Can I interject there? So Sammy Orr and Maria spoke at the CFUW meeting for their Echo Club. So Barb and I chatted with those girls. They are amazing, and they're amazing speakers. They just are so passionate. And so I reached out to Christine Ritzma, who is the teacher that mentors the club. So she has asked the club if there is
someone else, because Sammy's going to be away, that would like to speak about what they've been doing. And there's also their garden in the courtyard at Stratford District. And so Barb and I were thinking that if they could speak from their garden, that would be really, I think, very impactful to see how the youth in Stratford are working on our environment and the beautification of a space.
It's very important, Cindy, and it definitely will be a stop. We need to
Okay.
show the different generations of our community and how we roll, right? So the youth are so important, and if we can showcase what they are doing at the high school level, that's fantastic. So
Like what they're doing is amazing. They have that cow composter, and Barb was just talking with Bernie, and Bernie wants to donate canna lilies, and we have sunflowers. So I emailed Christine about that, because that garden in the courtyard was originally my class's garden. So I had asked Christine if the garden was still viable. And she said during pandemic, they hadn't worked on it very much, but she was more than willing to start again. So she'll probably respond to me. She's got her plant sale this weekend, but she'll probably respond. She just wanted to know the exact dates and when her Echo Club members should be there. So once we know, then she's on board anyway, and so is the Echo Club. So and
if,
Bernie's on board of making it beautiful.
so really, if I had to guess the date, it would be August the 17th, would likely
Okay.
be the date. But if you
Okay.
give them the window saying August 16th to the 18th, but in
Okay.
all likelihood, the 17th, the day in the middle. Yeah.
Okay.
Brad, just to lead from that conversation with the school. So one of the teachers there, Andrew Maver, so he just replaced Finkelstein that he just left. So Andrew is very energetic and very good with the students. I'm just wondering if we could somehow arrange to have a luncheon there one day with the kids doing, because I know he's all about sourcing local and taking something from the forest and making a great meal with it. So he's really quite a grassroots kind of chef that leads the kids. And I've done a fair amount of projects with him through the senior center. So I know he'd be into doing something like that and doing a showcase.
Could he do it
in the
Yes.
summer?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Would he
just-
be able in August?
Yeah.
The kids
Yeah.
won't-
Oh, sorry. Okay. So because there won't be anybody there in August. I could see if he can arrange a one-off though.
Yeah, because that would work out nicely if we're gonna do the garden. You could have lunch there and then go see the garden, or do garden and then have lunch, or.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you want me just to see if that's a possibility?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, something different. I have one question. So we just had that group that sold like 700 trees on the weekend. Would that fall under environment, or would that fall under floral
Or urban forestry.
Yeah,
and forestry?
and native plants. Yeah, they were all native trees.
Yeah.
Did we get pictures? Sorry, do we
That
have
was the
any?
Partners. Yeah, I got some trees from them, but I didn't get any pictures.
They probably have some. It's just an idea, because,
No, it's a great idea, Bonnie.
yeah, like I would just, that's amazing that, they're selling that many. And then, of course, we had the tree power one again, Energy and Environment did it again so that would fall under forestry. Who's doing forestry?
We haven't allocated it to anybody yet.
Okay.
Yeah, they were planting over 2,000 trees, the master gardeners. So it's a significant addition to our city.
Brad.
Yes.
so CFUW's annual meeting in April, we had a sort of an echo conference with climate action. But Jody Burback spoke about, she's the, you know who, she's the head of the Environment or Sustainability Committee, something. Which committee is she? What was it, Barb? She, anyway, she spoke and it was a really good presentation, and she might be a good person to speak as
You
another,
mean Jody Burback?
yeah,
Mhm.
Oh, she's chair of
she's with you, Bonnie.
Energy and Environment.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and she did a really good presentation. I just thought that would be good because it shows about our environment in Stratford and how city council is working on it. So that
And
was
again,
just my other idea.
We'll
I'm
have
not
to ask
sure-
her after June 5th, because if
Yeah.
she's elected, she'll be in Parliament.
Right, I know, but she
And-
spoke
and if-
very well and she had a really good PowerPoint presentation.
And if not, she's back on city council. It'll be whether or not she's in Stratford or at AMO.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, but yeah, this is where I'm talking about I like the brainstorming of identifying key stakeholders in our community who can really sell their
Mhm.
story
Mhm.
for it, because they don't want to hear, me talk the whole time, because that doesn't serve a purpose. It's the people who are doing the work, people who are passionate about it, people who can
Mhm.
tell what they do in our community. Yeah, Linda.
If anyone has anybody in mind that would be good for the landscape section, I don't know anybody in town, so I'm welcome to any suggestions for people that I could get to.
Yeah.
Talk about the landscaping.
So, as an example, the Horticultural Society, they've always been a good
Doris.
and this has been a while now. It was Mike Matthews, who was a person I had spoken to at one time with the Horticultural Society, but give me 1 second. Kids back in the house.
Mhm.
They've moved out, so it's unusual for me to have to deal with other people again. So anyway. We can come up with some ideas, and I know all we need to do is ask Quinn, and Quinn will tell us who else we can maybe draw in for that conversation. And if not, it's Quinn himself. Quinn by default, Linda is our
Yeah.
go.
That's who I thought of, but I thought he'd probably be spread out over everybody's.
Well, he's basically tethered at the hip with the judges for the 3 days.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I think we'll have to showcase Bernie's gardens. He's got the word hope growing in his tulips. At the moment, they're not blooming yet, but pretty soon you'll see a great big hope in there. He's got some new signs coming, and he's also the signs that Communities in Bloom paid for him to take to the schools, and he's going to provide them with the canna lilies and the sunflowers. So I think he's going to do 8 schools, and that would be good to, the kids won't be in school, but showcase him and how he's involving, intergenerational learning, helping the younger kids with his experience.
That's great. Yeah. Bernie will definitely be a stop, and hopefully the judges will have an opportunity to talk to him as well. So when we see him next, we can see if he would be able to make some time available. I think that would be great.
Also, an aerial acrobatic group in town who last year set up one of those great big poles in Ted's garden, and they were up with their ribbons and they were doing all these acrobatic stunts, I guess you could say, but it's all to music. It's very beautiful. So I've asked the teacher of those kids if they could set up the pole maybe when the judges are here and put on a show when they go to Ted's garden, just to show how that space can be used and just add a little bit of excitement. And the butterflies should be around then too, so they can release some butterflies in the garden, and hopefully we'll have a labyrinth started then too. So
That sounds good.
So I always say this is always a work in progress through the entire time until the judges come, and even when the judges are here, it's a on the fly making changes. So everyone will all do our part, and I think this is great. Again, the brainstorming here started today with who you can reach out to, and I think what I'd like to do is just ask if you're brainstorming or if you come up with something. And I know that we had talked about a group chat or whatever, but I'm wondering if it's just as simple to fire off a group email, just to everybody, and just say, hey, this is an idea, so that we can, you know, if my kids were here, they'd be yelling at me saying this is not the effective way of doing it. They'd say you use some piece of technology and have a group chat. But I'm not sure if we're all familiar with the various chat groups or whatever. So would just using email be sufficient for everybody?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we go here, we can just kind of continue the threads of you know, if we've got Fred Gunner doing the photos, and you know, we've got Zach, and we've got the Winterfest, and we go there, and then we just kind of and I will also send the 2019 agenda, so you can kind of see what we did back then, and then we can, like I said, we've got the wheel. Now we're just going to revise the wheel. We're going to just tweak it and make it for 2022, and you know, go from there.
The fire truck is always a hit. So
The fire truck is always a hit. Yeah,
so make sure you talk to Rick about that.
I will do that. Do we have evening activities? Sometimes the judges, I like to provide the judges options if they want to do evening activities. Sometimes judges will say, you know, especially, you know, Bob coming, you know, time zone changes when we find international judges, sometimes they're a little tired and they don't want to do as much. So I call the yes and activities. So yes, you're going to be full from the minute I pick you up until dinner time. And if you'd like to do more, we've got the after hours activities. So if there's ideas for what's going on Tuesday night and Wednesday night, if we could start brainstorming that as well, because maybe Bob will want to take in Stratford and all its activities, and you know, okay with, you know, running with us. And Tina coming from Ottawa, so she's, you know, she won't have any time zone change issues at all. So, you know, I mean, hopefully she'll want to do some activities as well. But so I'm just reaching out to you just to say, if you've got some ideas, you know, let us all know and see if we can put, you know, an evening package together should they wish to do so.
And Stratford Summer Music will be on then as well, right? Like it's not, yeah.
So
I
that's
don't think-
what we want to look at. It is, you know, what's on where for summer music. Is there something on at the festival that might be light and cheery and fun to go see? I don't know. I haven't looked at all yet, but you know, we can just see what's on the schedule and provide them with at least an opportunity to, should they wish to. So that's always the evening activities.
At Destination Stratford, they have a self-guided audio walking tour, a culinary trail, chocolate or bacon and ale, prop making at Factory 163, and meet the festival at Tom Patterson Theatre.
And the other person who's always done an amazing job for us with the historical component of it is Nancy Musselman. She used to do the tours. Sorry?
The ghost walks.
Ghost walks. She's just got a great storytelling ability, and so you know, whether it's the ghost walk in the evening or during the day, if we can find a way to, you know, I don't foresee us using the horse-drawn carriages again, but if we can find, you know, some way of uniquely getting them around for some historical storytelling, that'd be great as well. So again, I'm just throwing out ideas here and seeing what the committee all thinks, and we can kind of go through them and pick out the winners. So is that enough for today? Oh, hotels. You got to figure about hotels as well. Did anybody got any thoughts?
Can we do the Bruce again? That seems to be the best place. Is there any chance that we can get it?
I can ask.
Well, the Arden Park sure was full last night. Holy cow. Nice to see everybody coming back.
The only challenge, Karis, with any place right now, and this is why I'm throwing out as a question mark, is it's right smack dab in the middle of their prime season. And you know, if it was a Sunday night, Monday night, it wouldn't be so bad, but it's a Tuesday night, Wednesday night. So anyways, if we have any other ideas, recommendations, suggestions, happy to hear.
But could we pay for it though? Like, I think it's an investment. We're not asking for a total donation, maybe a bit of a cut, but you know, can we book it and explain what we're doing?
100% yes.
Yeah.
We definitely can. So I'm happy to do the ask and see what they say.
Good.
Okay. I think that's all I had on my scribble notes. Does anybody else got any ideas right now that we need on the judging visit, or we'll leave that for now and circle back?
Yeah.
Just leave that one. Okay, sorry, Casey, I'm all over the place on you, and I apologize. Item 4.1 was the update on the CIB webpage. I think we'll just leave that, unless anybody's got something to add, we'll just leave it as the constantly on there, and if there's anything that we add, we'll just bring it up for comment. But right now there's nothing to share on that. 4.2 we just did. 4.3 Barb, you've done. 4.4 clip of Foreman Ave. Cindy, anything care to share on Foreman Ave?
I spoke directly to Christine, and they had planned to do it the week of Earth Day, but because of the weather, it just sort of didn't work out. So she wants to do it. So I sent an email that she forwarded to the new principal who's wanting to do it. So they recognize the problem. They've had a lot of complaints from neighbors. So the principal has been talking to Christine about it. So they're working on a definite plan. And I said that Communities in Bloom was interested in collaborating with them. And so she said after her plant sale this Saturday, she'll get something going. And they want, she doesn't just want the Echo Club to do it, but she wants the Echo Club to be the promoters of it. So it's student to student, and the principal's on board with that. So
That's always how you'll get the best success, is when it's student driven.
Right? Yeah. So I apologize because she had told me it was going to be on Earth Day, and then I think there was snow or something that day, or anyway, something happened and it was all canceled. So yeah.
Okay, plans for the garden fling. So we're all set for Saturday, May the 28th at the farmers market. So Barb, I'm gonna ask, is Bernie all set to go? He needs anything?
His canna lilies are about ready to bloom. He started really early. He last fall we went over to the cemetery and we rescued all the canna lilies from the cold, and he brought them all home and separated them and stored them and planted them. And so he's got canna lilies coming out his ears, which is good. So we can hand out those also. You know, we've got packages of Hope sunflower seeds, which we can kind of promote with the Ukraine at the present time being their national flower, as well as continuing what was happening last year. Yeah, so I think we're ready to go.
Perfect.
We're not doing hot dogs and we're not doing soil in that. So it's been, you know, slimmed down, and thanks to Bernie for kind of getting hours. So really, I don't think we really have to do much, except he'll, you know, we'll drive his truck over and unload and we'll be ready to go.
Okay.
I think that's important to let people know that. I didn't know that that was your crane's national flower.
Yes, it's actually an interesting plant because apparently when they were taking the disarmament, they had Russia, Ukraine, and the US plant sunflowers around, the nuclear plants that they had disarmed. And it seems kind of ironic. That was 1991, and here we are now worried about nuclear wars and whatnot. So it also, the sunflower takes radioactive material out of the soil. So it's a very interesting plant. So it is their national flower, and I'll send you the article, Bonnie, on it because it's very interesting to read about it.
I'm wondering if we could do like some kind of, plaque with that story on it, like, and have it there so that people can,
We could maybe do it. There's a little garden in front of the waterfall. Last year we put sunflowers in there
yeah,
and put the story in that garden because right now there's tulips. They weren't there last year, but there's tulips coming up and then sunflowers will get planted. And it would be nice for people to know that about why we're planting sunflowers. And that might become maybe a little permanent garden for the Ukraine.
but I was thinking at the farmer's market too, it might be an interesting read for people, like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've certainly learned more about Ukraine, unfortunately, under the circumstances than I ever knew before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so our sunflowers last year were there for the pandemic hope, and then this year they're really tying nicely into the Ukraine situation.
Okay. Who's all able to join us on May 28th? Okay, perfect.
What
I'm
time do we have to be there?
15.
What time do we have to be there?
Yeah, I'm just checking my notes.
Wouldn't it? Doesn't it start at 7?
I think it does, Bonnie. I think you're right.
7 till 12? But set up, you'd probably want to be there at 6:30 or something. Are we inside or outside?
Outside. I'll be there at 6:45 because it won't take us long.
So do we need to get like a tent or anything in case it's raining? Or too sunny?
You know what, Bonnie? Leave that with me.
Okay.
Okay. I never thought about that.
I was wondering if, like last year, Barb and I made that little blurb on sunflowers and how to plant them, which we stapled onto the little envelopes. I'm wondering, I like your idea, Bonnie. Maybe we could just add a little bit about the sunflowers and their importance and how they were planted, like for the nuclear disarmament, and add a little bit about Ukraine.
Could you do those little pieces of paper like you did last year? We'll cut them up and put them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Casey, do we have any more of those, or did Barb get them all? I think you picked them all up, didn't you, Barb? Didn't we use them?
I think we used them all.
I think I still have that saved, so maybe I could just add, maybe on one side would be a picture of the sunflower with the Ukraine importance of hope, and then on the other side of it would be how to plant it.
Mm-hmm.
How would that be? And
Yeah,
then
I
we did it in strips so that we just folded it with the packages, right, Barb?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Could I, if I'd sent that to you, Casey, like last year, could it get printed then?
You bet.
Okay.
We heard anything about the slow market on the 29th?
Yes, sorry, I haven't quite got that far yet.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Mhm.
okay. So the Saturday 6:45, I'll be there to help with getting the candidates out of the truck, Barb, because I did last time was just braid. I had my son braid and I just helped with getting them off the truck and out to the table. Can you help me recall, was that a table from the market? I can't remember.
Yes, they had two, we had two from the market. And then I've got tablecloths and I've got like stuffed sunflowers that we can put around and yeah, and then the plants just go on the table.
And do you need to bring your own chairs or do they provide them?
They had chairs as well. Yeah.
For the Sunday, the note that I got, it is, sorry, so Marianne had been taking care of this and she got the note and they said that we can be participating in this. It's going to cost $25 and we have to bring our own tables and chairs. So that's basically the gist of that one. So if we want to do it, there's just that fee. How does everybody feel about doing this Sunday?
I can't do the Sunday, but I can do the Saturday.
I can do either Saturday or Sunday, but not both. So I can do the Sunday if you like.
I think we should stick with one and do it well.
I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah, like I'm not able to do both days.
Yeah, I'm just reading the note here. No need to complete registration for a single day, but our tables cost $25. You can pay by You need your own tables and chairs. The market is from 10 until 2. So yeah, I'm of the mind as well that we just do the one. I mean, instead of diluting our resources.
Because then we have to get Bernie's materials twice and I don't know, I think we're complicating things by doing both.
And are we gonna do a press release about it?
Unless someone want,
Sorry, Barb, you cut out there. Now you're on mute.
I have an appointment at 1, so I have to get going, but I think we should just do the one.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
Is
And just,
everybody else in are we consensus here?
Yeah.
Yep.
that's fine.
Okay, so let's just do the Saturday market. And if you can be there, I mean, we don't need everybody there at 6:45, but I mean, I can help with getting it set up and then show up when you can.
Okay.
Are we gonna do a press release or anything?
I think we should, Bonnie. I'm terrible at press releases, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, all you have to do is send it to Mike and have him do it up. He's good at it.
Is there somebody that wants to send Mike the details of our event?
Yeah, I can do it.
Thank you. Great. Okay, so that's our spring fling. So
Is that what we're calling it, spring fling
yeah,
or garden fling?
sorry, plans for our garden fling. My apologies. Thank
That's
you,
all
Lynn.
right.
Old habits.
That's-
Okay, so upcoming event, new business, there was none noted. Upcoming events, so we have our garden fling at the farmers market on May 28th. The judge's visit has confirmed. The national symposium, again, I'm just going to keep that on everybody's radar. I don't think we need to have anybody panic about getting that in just yet, but if you are thinking about it, it's October the 20th and 23rd. Dates for the next meeting, I'm going to throw this out. So we have our next meeting as Thursday, June the 2nd. And then our next one, if I'm not mistaken, and Casey, correct me if I'm wrong, would be Thursday, July the 7th. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, those are the dates.
Okay. I'm out of country from July 5th to the 18th. So I was just wondering if there was, you guys can carry on without me, or I was wondering if we could, if there was an option, Casey, could we pull it the week before? So, because June's got the 5 Thursdays, is it possible that June, like June 2nd and then June 30th? Is that a possibility? Because at the end of the day, it has to work around your schedule as our clerk, right?
I am working that day.
How does, like, is anybody else able to accommodate me? Sorry, I hate to say it, make it about me, but is everybody else able to accommodate June the 30th instead of July the 7th?
Mhm.
Is that okay with you, Bonnie? Yeah, okay.
On the 30th, right?
June the 30th, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so then we would go June the 2nd, June the 30th, August the 4th.
Yeah.
That would cover us through the summer.
Yeah.
And get us that last one in leading up to the judges then. So we've got 3 meetings scheduled, and we can also have our own breakouts leading up to that. So we got our 3 meetings through the summer.
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for everybody for accommodating me on that. If there's nothing further, I'd accept a motion to adjourn. Moved by Kara, second by Linda, all in favor, and that is carried.